Welcome to the show, guys. Again, it's me and my dear friend Anton.
Welcome back.
I hope you are welcome. I hope you are doing amazing in Dubai.
Doing always. Look at that, a big smile as soon as I'm here. Sunny,
Crazy.
amazing. I highly recommend everybody who is watching to come and visit us or at least check out Dubai. I think you went to Dubai. I know you went to Dubai a couple of times, so I'm sure you can relate somehow. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing weather, amazing people, amazing culture, amazing food. So, yeah, so everything amazing.
Yes. Tell me.
Today's topic, Anton.
Yeah.
We are speaking about the markets. One of the markets which are really doing crazy in a positive way is the silver market. Skyrocketing still. What's happening?
I can share my perspective, but I think you are more deep in commodities markets, silver and gold markets. I mean, after many years, silver has hit an all-time high. I still remember it back in 2011. Silver hit an all-time high of $50, and then it crashed, and then it was struggling for how many years? 15 years until it hit an all-time high now. Similar story for gold, right? Usually, I mean, why people buy silver and gold, or the motivation behind such investments or purchases, are usually fear of money printing or fear of inflation, right? Where there's so much money being created by the central banks, so much money being created by the governments, that translates into inflation, high inflation, which hurts everyday people. And one way how people who have some money, the way they protect themselves against inflation is actually they buy silver and gold, but some other commodities as well, and sometimes even a bit of crypto, So this is what's happening. I do know that there's a huge demand for silver and gold. Even I hear it here locally in UAE because there's a big gold and silver market here in the region, and people are buying like crazy. And I think it's also driven sometimes by cultural reasons. So for instance, we have a big Indian community here in UAE. I mean, if you ask anybody from India, for Pakistan as well, it's like they say, we buy gold, right? How you store your wealth, right? So there's a big demand, prices going up. I heard yesterday that actually the US Treasury Mint actually stopped selling silver, right? Because there's a shortage of supply. So it's all impacting and the price is going up. How do you see it, Faruk?
Amazing explanation, Anton. Completely right. So a lot of things are going on, and yeah. So I mentioned many times that we will see in 2026, in specific, more asset allocations, and what we really see is silver and gold because of, you mentioned, the cultural reasons, but beside of them, which is really important, we have the geopolitics, which are really fragile and unstable right now. So this means that ongoing tensions around Iran, Russia, Ukraine, Gaza, and also the case with Venezuela have raised the risk. And this means silver and gold is also seen as a safe haven. And beside of that, we have that silver and gold is used in products, in electronic products, which are really necessary. This means that also institutions are really interested in this kind of commodities. And we have many reasons. So that means that we have also structural supply tightness on the other hand, because it's a raw material. This needs to be mined, and mining it takes years to do that. So we have many reasons, and it's, as mentioned, an industrial and critical metal demand here for the next couple of years. If we consider AI, if we consider electronic devices, and this is really critical.
Yes.
That's the point.
Yes.
And we see a spike, we see a spike in the markets, but do you believe there will be sooner or later a correction? Anton, obviously we don't have any crystal balls to see that, and guys, these sessions are just for education purposes. We just are sharing our raw thoughts with you.
Yeah. So maybe you can also then show the price while I kind of share a bit my thoughts, right? So definitely, if you take a look at the charts, and we are now reading charts, this is the worst thing we can do when we analyze the price, but let's do it, We actually see, I mean, the price went crazy in 2025, right? So if you look at the long-term chart, I mean, this looks, not knowing or knowing a lot about markets and so on, looks definitely very unstable because the price is going up a lot, right? And why do I say unstable? Because some people buy physical silver, so they actually buy it and they have it. But many people actually trade silver on margin. right? So they take on leverage with a broker and then they buy silver. It's all fun and games on the way up. So, right, you amplify your profits as the price is going up, but then you actually also magnify or you amplify your losses when the price goes down, right? And that's what I mean, actually, that it looks very unstable because the leverage is increasing in the gold and silver market, especially in the silver market. And if we have a sharp move down, a lot of people who traded silver on leverage will get liquidated. And that means you get forced selling. Like you have forced selling because the brokers need to close your margin, your leverage position to protect you and the broker against losses, right? And then they have to do forced selling, and then that pushes the price immediately because there's no way for anybody to consider what's going on, to slow this down because you have to sell, you have to liquidate, right? And that's why I think it looks unstable. Where will the price go? I'm not sure. I think maybe even higher. I think you're looking at silver now, but this is 1 pound of silver. Oh, sorry, 1 kilo of silver. So it's not
1 kilo.
it's not
Exactly.
1 ounce. So just so people understand like the difference, right? But it's in Swiss francs, right? So, but I think that price could even go up to $100 ounce of silver, and this will just attract even more speculators, even more traders, and yeah, be careful. Let's say it like that. I think I've made my warning, my risk assessment. It looks very volatile. Yeah.
There's a huge rumor about UBS, the Swiss bank. They shorted it, but we don't have any confirmation on that. A lot of rumors are going on, but anyway, it's crazy. It's really crazy what's happening right now in the market. This may be another topic to discuss about, but I would like also ask this question to you. The markets are going crazy right now. If you have had $100,000
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
how will you allocate these?
So again, not a financial advice, but just on a personal thoughts, personal opinions, and they reflect actually where I operate and how I think. So I have a long-term perspective, and I'm deeply involved in the crypto industry, right? So most of my allocation of that $100,000 would be towards crypto industry, right? Potentially, maybe put something into cryptocurrencies. So, for instance, I put a bit of Bitcoin, maybe invest a bit into a company, let's say it like that, right? So like a startup investment, and diversify my kind of, if I can say, diversify my investments in the crypto industry a bit, but knowing that this is a high risk industry, highly volatile industry, right? So the prices go up and down a lot. And when you invest into companies, especially startups, this is even more high risk. This is the highest risk thing you can do, venture capital investments, right? But this would be, I think, majority of my investments will go towards that with a long-term outlook, right? So I would keep that $100,000 for the next 5 years, 10 years there, right? I'm also very interested in AI. So let's say with 20% of that $100,000, so with 20K, I would try to look for opportunities in AI, maybe some publicly traded companies on the infrastructure side. So for instance, you have NVIDIA that's publicly traded, maybe to invest a bit there. And then as well, potentially invest into a few startups. There's some very cool startups here in the region, in the UAE, AI startups that are trying to do something. So I would invest in them. And maybe allocate a small investment in the end, let's say $1,000 towards education. So I would subscribe to some AI tools. I would use them. I mean, actually, I do that already today. That's why I'm mentioning it. So I would subscribe to ChatGPT. I would subscribe to Grok or to X. I would subscribe to Claude. I would subscribe to some other tools and try them out, learn, because I think this is also a way how to invest money, but into human capital, like into my knowledge, right? So Faruk, I know you are a big AI person. I know you're a big crypto person, big investor in general. So how do you see your 100K being allocated?
Amazing. Thank you for that. You're sharing your thoughts. Yeah, absolutely true. So I'm very interested in technologies as well. But as Faruk, as a person, I like to diversify my capital. And how? So this means if we look forward the next couple of years, 5 to 10 years or 15 years even, we know that AI is going to play a huge role. And what do you need for AI? You need power. You need electricity. And we can't have enough supply by green energy. That's real. So, and what I believe is that Uran will be very useful for the next couple of years.
Mhm.
Also, Uran mining companies, what I believe, will will go up, soar in the next couple of years.
Mm.
This on the one hand, because we know AI is crucial, we know we need energy, electricity, and green energy can deliver all of them. That means that Iran will play a huge role. This on one hand. The other hand, as mentioned, AI companies. Furthermore, crypto. So, and if I speak about crypto, I don't speak about meme and shitcoins. I really speak about Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum, but mainly Bitcoin. Then beside of that, I'm a huge fan also of gold and silver.
Okay.
But not in paper format, really materials. You can hold that and store in the bank, at home, wherever. And furthermore, I also recommend to buy land in the next couple of years. Land where you live or abroad, wherever, to own land. Because we have it like Bitcoin, we have the supply of land. It's that what we have on our world. And that means if you own land, it's always useful. You can do whatever you want. It's your land. And it can also soar in the next couple of years. So about asset allocation, diversification, I like to go broad. But guys, this is my personal opinion. This is not a financial advice, because I believe that if you have a diversification in this kind of assets, you will do good sooner or less. So, but this is my belief. But now we spoke about also crypto and Bitcoin. Bitcoin is near K again, Anton.
Yes.
I would like to ask you, what are the main drivers of the price change again? Because we saw a drop from 120,000 to 80,000, and now we are back soon to 100,000. What are the main drivers? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm very happy you asked me this question, but also providing the context. So we went from 120, 125K to 80 very quickly. And maybe the first would be question that, you might be having, but why did we end up, why did we drop, right? And to be honest, like it's really happened when Trump announced tariffs on China. That was October 10th. There was a lot of liquidity, a lot of leverage, a lot of debt in the crypto industry, in the crypto markets. And when that volatility started happening around October 10th, that caused a lot of liquidations actually from leverage speculators, right? So the price went down, their position was in a loss. They had to close that, do that forced selling, forced closing of the positions. And that was pushing the price quite aggressively down to $80,000, right? And then the question is like, why did we now go back up, and what's the outlook for the future, right? Now, the reason what happened, why I personally didn't expect the price to go down further, is because there was no driver actually for the price to go down any further, right? So this was a really specific event that was caused by communication by the US president, right? Created a lot of volatility in the crypto markets, and then caused technical selling, so leverage positions were closed, and that was creating a lot of selling, right? And then when we stabilized around 80,000, we realized, actually you could even realize it before, there was no further driver of selling. So we got stuck at 80K, but there was no further driver of selling, because it is what it is. Like everybody who was speculating, who was leveraged, who was taking a lot of debt got wiped out. And here we are now, right? And that's why I personally think that the markets will go up to an all-time high, right? So everybody who got liquidated was liquidated. Everybody who wanted to sell, they sold. we came to 80K. And now what to do next, right? Is that the thesis and the fundamentals for crypto, for Bitcoin, are still the same. You have enormous money printing, you have enormous inflation, you have more capital being allocated towards crypto because it's a new prospective asset class, and money will be coming in. So that's why even I think I wrote a couple of posts where I told everybody, hey, we are at 80K, this is it, 85K, that's it. We're not going down any further. Capital liquidity is coming back, capital is coming in, and we're going to go back up. And that's exactly what happened. Now I'm saying it like I had a crystal ball back then. No, I didn't have a crystal ball, but I understood what happened, right? I'm very deeply involved into the crypto market, so I understand very well how the markets work, what happened, and what's the consequences of that, what happened, right? And that's why I kind of said it, a few weeks ago. It's actually a week ago, I said, hey, we're going back to 100K Bitcoin now because everything stabilized. Everybody who got wiped out who had to be wiped out. He's wiped out, and capital is coming back in. So that's kind of a bit of my assessment. I think we're going to hit an all-time high again in the next couple of months. When and how, and that's difficult to say. The only thing what I can say is crypto moves so fast. At one point you're at 90K, next day you're at 100K. You close your eyes, you're at 125K, you know? So that's why I always talk about long-term outlook. Long-term outlook, because it's very difficult. Unless you're a professional trader working at a hedge fund or an asset manager, you are not capable to trade such a fast-moving asset like Bitcoin. Nothing of this was a financial advice, but it was an explanation what's happening in the background of the crypto market.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Anton. It's gonna stay interesting for the next couple of months, and we will have always these conversations about crypto because it stays interesting. We will see assets allocation more, especially in these fragile times. And thank you very much for the conversation. It was amazing, guys. If you wanna support this channel, please subscribe and like. If you have any questions, drop them below in the comments, and we will see us tomorrow again.
See you tomorrow. Thank you very much, Faruk, and I hope you had a blast enjoying the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
See ya. Bye-bye, guys.
See ya.